Alrighty, hey guys, Stan the Man here, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're just going to be continuing our 20-day countdown to WrestleMania 41 coming up here. If you haven't checked these out, I'm starting at WrestleMania 20 and going all the way to WrestleMania 40. I'm reviewing the last 20 WrestleManias, up for 20 days away. I've already reviewed WrestleMania 20 and 21. So today we are going to be going over WrestleMania 22, which that was 2006. We've had quite a few good matches on here. But yeah, really without any further ado, let's get right into this. So first match we have is Edge taking on Mick Foley. Now, this match wasn't for any titles or anything like that. It was basically about which wrestler is more hardcore. And, you know, there's just that moment at the end of the match where they finish the match where Edge spears Mick Foley through a flaming table. Like, it was just unbelievable. That's honestly one of the best flaming table moments in WWE. You know, in WWE, they didn't do, like, flaming tables and shit like that as much. That was more of a ECW, WCW type thing. But, yeah, my God, these guys were using barbed wire bats and shit like that. You know, they really just tore the house down. Edge basically, like a month or two before, I believe he lost the WWE Championship. They only let him keep it, like, a month. And he basically wanted to prove to them that that was a mistake, and he's going to have one of the best matches on the cards, which he really did, honestly. But, yeah, just that freaking spear through the damn flaming table. There's nothing else like it, and freaking Edge went right into shock after doing it. I remember Mick Foley said when he went home, his wife was like, "Mick, what is that burning smell?" And he just had such bad burns that his skin was freaking burning from inside out, basically. Okay, up next, we have Rey Mysterio taking on Randy Orton and Kurt Angle in a triple threat match. Now, I believe Kurt Angle was going in as the World Heavyweight champion in this match. Now, what made this so special is, you know, this is not long after Eddie Guerrero died, and Rey Mysterio won probably the most emotional Royal Rumble win ever in 2005 when he threw out Batista and Triple H at the end to win. You know, he made an entrance in Eddie Guerrero's lowrider car, and, you know, everybody could just feel the connection with Rey Mysterio and Eddie. Like, it was very emotional. Everybody could really tell. And Rey Mysterio, you know, really deserved it. But, you know, Rey Mysterio, one of the greatest high flyers of all time. Kurt Angle, one of the best wrestlers. And Randy Orton became one of the best wrestlers. You know, this match was just absolutely nuts as well. I believe Randy Orton was a heel, and Angle and Mysterio were both faces. Now, one of the main things I remember from this match is when Kurt Angle does a double German suplex to Rey Mysterio and Randy Orton. It was just insane. Freaking Rey Mysterio went flying across the entirety of the ring. It was absolute mayhem. But, you know, in the end, of course, Rey Mysterio came out with the victory, which it was just awesome. He was crying with the title, and again, you know, he was doing it for Eddie Guerrero. The story, I mean, the story was it was just real. You know, like, he really lost his friend, and he did it for basically his best friend, and it was just a really cool moment for Rey Mysterio to have done that. And especially for, like, a smaller high flyer guy back then, like, no small guy had really done that up until that point, like Rey Mysterio, which is even really crazy because, you know, Vince McMahon always loved his, you gotta be 6 foot or over, and Rey Mysterio was only like 5'6", I think maybe even shorter than that, but, you know, I think he just knew that everybody really believed in him that much. Okay, now up next, we have Shawn Michaels taking on Vince McMahon in an Extreme Rules match. Now, you know, this whole thing was freaking weird where Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels, like, they did Vince McMahon against God gimmick. Like, it was so stupid and shit like that, but basically it was just to screw with Shawn Michaels and make his life a living hell. I know Shane McMahon and Vince were just trying to make Shawn's life hell. Of course, Shawn Michaels ended up getting the victory because, he's a million times better wrestler than Vince McMahon, but I remember near the end part, Shawn Michaels is up almost on top of the ladder, and he's crotch chopping and jumps off the ladder to Vince through the table. Vince had a trash can on him, and Shane McMahon handcuffed to the rope. Like, I could picture the entire scenario in my mind already. But, it's always fun to watch Vince get his ass kicked when he's always trying to be the corporate stooge, the assholey boss to everybody. But, of course, Michaels came out the victory. And finally, the main event for the WWE Championship, we had John Cena. I believe he was defending his WWE title against Triple H. That's when Triple H made his King of King entrance in the King's throne chair with the fur and all that. That was one of my favorite entrances of all time that he's ever done. But it was a really good match. This is a big thing when the crowd really started hating Cena. The F you Cena, Cena sucks, die Cena die. They did all of those chants, and that's really what made him one of the biggest stars of all time. Just no matter what, he would go through the controversy and everything. I remember it was a really physical, bloody match, and amazingly in the end, John Cena actually retained his title by submitting Triple H with the STF. I mean, dude, his face was just so freaking covered in blood, and honestly, even looking back at it now, it still is crazy that Triple H did tap out, that they had him do that he agreed to do that. But, he really does care about the business and letting everything go forward and handing off the torch. But, even in 2009, they kind of revisited Michaels, Triple H, and Cena had a little bit of a rivalry, and Triple H talked about that's one of his biggest regrets that he's ever done. But, yeah, it was just a good match. It also was almost long-term storytelling when it came to that. But I think, the year before he defeated JBL, but barely. He got his ass kicked the whole time. But when he could defeat a top contender like Triple H, I really think he kind of proved himself that he deserved to be the WWE champion, and he could make it through in all odds, no matter what. But yeah, guys, so that is going to be it for the review of WrestleMania 22. Comment down below what you thought of this card, who you think should have won what your favorite match was, stuff like that. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you haven't checked out the other two countdown videos, go ahead and check them out. And I will see you at the next WrestleMania 23 review.